between like 1,000, and I just focused on that one word. I said, oh, that's what that means. But it took me, my mom wants to make into some of it.
You had to hear it a few times before it registered.
She could say something that I said, wow, I said it like that, or you could say something. But I could hear it 1,000 times. Not registered.
Well, beyond the fear, it's the fact versus what we perceive are all the negatives. And so that's one of the biggest things I've learned about it. You know, I don't know how many alcoholics and addicts have said, I always felt like the outsider and whatnot, but I think that's because we've always had the fear of something when we're in groups, or that somebody would understand you, or they turn on you. And I think there's a lot of bad perception of ourselves and how people really thought about us or do think about us. And so that's one of the biggest things. I now go, okay, is it a fact that somebody's upset at me? Or do I just perceive it? I used to do that all the time. It's amazing how much better I can feel about myself now that I try to really think about, okay, the fact or this stinking thinking. Because I think I was born this way. And I've had stinking thinking all my life. So now I've had to change how I think, especially about myself, but how I perceive how other people are perceiving me. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. Okay, so this goes back to why do we keep meeting together, even though we've got this thing, we've been clean and sober for a little bit. But you know what? You just took me back to almost 19 years ago when I was feeling that exact same thing, and I would keep talking to my sponsor, oh, they said this about me, or they're thinking that about me. And she'd say, Cheryl, what other people think of you is none of your business. I haven't heard that in so long. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that applies every day to all of us, you know? If kids in school could get that concept, there would no bullying would be able to be had.
Exactly.
Because nobody could have any power over us. What you think of me is none of my business. You can think whatever you want all day long.
You could either stay in that thought, hey, I'm worried about what they're thinking, or you just move on and...
Exactly. Eric?
What are we talking about, fear?
I don't know. I'm tired. I talk about whatever you want.
Well, I mean...
I thought he was going to pull out a scroll and tell us some words that
No, I don't think fear necessarily is a bad thing. You know, it's good to have a healthy respect for it. You know, like those days when you feel down and out, that's just your way of, you know, like you just learn from your mistakes. It's like, all right, I remember that I did something wrong. I feel terrible for it. Now I need to go and, you know, make sure I don't make that same mistake again. I mean, yeah, I'd like to be happy all the time, but there's days when, you know, I'm depressed and, you know, I think about all the stuff that I did, you know, where I could have been now, you know, but I use that as like, fear is almost like a motivation for me, you know, to say, okay, well, you know what, I need to be here, but if I drink, then I'm not going to go down this road. And, you know, just, it kind of keeps me, you know, sort of on the right path, sort of. I'm not terrified to go into the path, but, you know, I need to remember what I did, because if I lose that fear, then I'll go back to drinking, you know what I mean, and, you know, that's where I need to just keep I guess a balance of everything, because you know I could be really happy and then be like, oh, you know what, forget about this, blah blah blah, I'm doing good, so I can go back to drinking or whatever, you know what I mean. That comfort zone is what always gets me in trouble. Like I'll go for 2 or 3 years without nothing happening because I did whatever I did, then just like clockwork, every 2 years or 3 years something happens. So if I could just keep that, you know, going for a couple of years, I think I'll be all right, and then I can just keep it going and so forth. But I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, but that's how I think of it. Yeah.
And that's why that what you were talking about, this is a guilt and shame-based disease because we know the things that we did to other people. We know how we've not been there for our families. We know how we've hurt our spouses. We know. We know that we messed up on ourselves. We know that we could have been at a different level financially if we, you know, weren't using all this stuff. Anyway, that's the whole purpose of this 12-step program, is step 4 and 5 is the key to getting rid of that guilt and shame. And people look at these steps, and especially step 4, and they see that searching and fearless moral inventory. And that moral inventory, whether we know it consciously or subconsciously, we read that word moral and we go, I can't do that, I can't do it, because we know our morals were all jacked up. But when you look at the book and you follow the instructions, step 4, all it says is, I'm mad at blank because blank, and that's all you got to do. The rest is in step 5, and your sponsor helps you finish that. And that's the Tupperware lesson, and we're going to do the Tupperware in the cookie jar next week. Fun, huh?
No?
Yay! All right, you guys got any questions, feedbacks, thoughts, comments? It's still my favorite piece. All right.
Well, it looks like Sahara's checking out James go.
She's over there looking. You got any water? Give me some water. I need some water. Why don't you tell us what Sahara does?
Walks through the desert
And what else?
and stops to get some water.
How often does she need to drink?
I'm not quite sure.
Once a
Twice a
month.
day.
24 hours?
All right, in the desert, I don't think there's that much water, so probably get some water like once or twice a month.
You looked at the pictures and your brain is fried.
I
Let's see, she starts in the morning on her knees
Yes.
I don't know the story of a camel.
to get
He
her
missed,
load.
he missed that lesson.
I don't know that one.
To get her load,
And she goes all day.
Mhm.
And at night, she gets on her knees again to unload.
Exactly. And,
Step 10.
and what does that have to do with recovery? Step 10, what?
Step 10. Daily retrieval, whatever.
Contingent upon.
That's 11.
Yeah.
But that was,
But they
good.
go, yeah.
Yeah,
Comes
they
right
go,
after
yeah,
10.
they go,
And
yeah.
if you did wrong,
Exactly. It is part of 10 and 11.
It's
Yes.
the top of radio.
It's page 86. When she gets her day started, she starts on her knees, which is recommended as the program of recovery, that we start our day on our knees and asking for a power greater than ourselves to restore us to sanity and turn our will and our lives over to the care of a higher power. And then we go for 24 hours, a daily reprieve without using, contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition, which we start our day off on our knees. And then if we end our day on our knees and take a daily inventory, which is page 86 or number step 10, and step 11 is,
I called Philip. I told him, hey, I'm sorry I took the last cup of coffee on purpose, and I'm sorry.
oh boy, okay, we did great today.
I'm just saying you said that's great. I mean, daily life, not only for just joining it.
She's kissing.
That's another class.
All right, I'm done. You guys done? Same time next Saturday, cookie jar and Tupperware.
Fantastic.
It was good.
You know that camera reminds me of
What?
the best part of the Super Bowl, which was terrible this year,